In this video, we're shooting an FBI thriller with a no-budget footprint, using one light, some printed pieces of paper, and a prop to make our shoot look like $1 million within a few minutes. Head move for me. Ooh, that looks so good. We'll do that one more time. Wait up, wait up, wait up, wait up. We're using a very fast setup, so one light, a piece of negative fill, and the new Potato Jet tripod. Do you know what we're shooting?
No.
Are you ready to shoot what we're shooting?
No.
There's a war going on inside. Just to name a couple, I battle with porn and pride.
Your character, Detective Glass, has been called out for a job.
Ongoing case.
And your first thing is you come in through the door, but maybe the doors open a crack. This might be where the killer is. When you go forward, you're gonna notice that there's this kettle here, and there's gonna be like some tea that's already hot. The first thing you're gonna notice is this hourglass, and it's going down in time. And then I think there's gonna be like a little note here that says like your time's running out. Then maybe you hear like a sound upstairs. We have to figure out when you pull your gun out. The whole time. All right, so when you go in, kind of like doing the creepish, but yeah, staying tucked up against the wall. That's great. This is the first room that you kind of get drawn into. There's nothing in here, but you definitely heard a sound up here, so you're going towards where the sound is. Okay. As you go down this hallway, there's gonna be a bunch of missing person posters everywhere. And this is where you start to notice all these missing things. And then we show your shot, and then someone's kind of like coming up behind you, and then it ends.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
From watching some of my favorite filmmakers, I've learned that they have a strategy of filmmaking that uses pacing to their advantage. And pacing something that I always thought was found in the edit, but I think you can shoot for it, which that's what we're diving into in this video. Also, I'm playing around with a brand new toy. This thing, the new Potato Jet tripod, which I am so in love with. Guess we're not using a fog machine. Is like the hole clogged? That worked. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you the formula on how to shoot a short film in the shortest period of time. We're going to be talking about camera movement, some simple lighting, and my storytelling cheat sheet that can get you to make a movie right out the gate. Your blocking for the first shot is walking up to this door. You feel so silly with the gun. And let's get you pop up into your spot. Yeah, great. Backlight her with that window. Haha, I can do this solo.
Oh my god, that was so dangerous.
Excellent. Action. This movie was shot on my Sony FX3. We shot it exclusively on the 50 Sigma 50mm f1.4, and all of the shots were captured using this tripod. The first thing I'm gonna say right out of the gate, making a movie by yourself without a crew is very difficult. Jackie wanted to go see the new Wicked movie, so we really had no time. Plus I was like, yeah, we can do this, babe, no problem. We can shoot this super fast. Could I have your help with the C-stand? Back leg there. You're a big star, big gaffer, big booty.
Oh my god, baby.
Get your gun. You never lose your gun. That's rule number one, a gun. Bad gunning. Let's talk about the gear, the Potato Jet SmallRig tripod. That's what I feel when I see you. This thing is super cool, mostly because of the trigger handle. The fact that I could just grab the tripod and slide it up to get frames that I wanted not only made shooting a short film easier, but I also used it for vlogging. A couple days later, I went to a retreat and was able to just capture shots the same way you'd set your cell phone up on a little tripod. It made it feel so much more seamless. And I'm always about what is the most streamlined part of the creative process, something that's going to get me from A to B the fastest way possible and isn't going to get in the way of creating the story. I think this is another tool in the toolkit that can do that. I have not got a tripod for ages. Actually, my last one was this $100 one over here. Crap. First things first, you're gonna recognize that this actually has this little toggle here. Flip this over, and now it goes over to the DJI plate, which is what I have on my camera right now. Everything is just so creator friendly with this. You. Like, come on. That's taller than me right now. Get rid of your old shit tripod and really kind of have this forever. Or you're like, oh, you know what? I really need an Allen key. Well, come on. Yeah, this tripod's awesome, but it's like it doesn't automatically go straight.
I know that.
Before I, sell you on this thing, let's talk about some of the things that I maybe didn't like about it. Even though that trigger handle was awesome, I found that it was not locking in on a straight axis all the time. So whenever I press the trigger, I would be able to get it level like 70% of the time. And then the other times I kind of had to like finesse. So it sort of reminded me of trying to like balance out a regular tripod. But with that said, I do really love this. I really think this is a solid piece of gear for the filmmakers like myself, the hybrid filmmakers who are run and gun, want to go shoot a short film really quickly, you're in and out of a space, or you're trying to shoot like a vlog on a weekend and you don't want the camera to get in the way, you just want to get the story. Walk forward. So the way we shot this was a consistent reveal technique, which I talk about in another video, which I'll link somewhere amongst this. But essentially this technique is to constantly reveal something within every 1 to 5 seconds of the film, sort of a currency that keeps the pace of the film going. So every shot, we tried to establish something. It doesn't have to be big, but just establishing something so the audience was constantly getting a reward in that 1 minute time period. I think it's a really effective storytelling technique, not only for feature films, but for movies that are now like one really short film, stuff that you want to make for a minute with short attention spans, kind of the secret sauce to keep people engaged with movies. Another thing that we did on this is I used my one lock method. This is something that I talk extensively in my course of 4-Week Filmmaker, and it's my secret ingredient, writing a short film in a short period of time. One location, one object, one character, one conflict. And I'm not going to dive too far into this, but this was something that we could shoot really quickly because we had those 4 elements. And the character was Jackie. She's like an FBI agent. The location was our house. The object was this hourglass. And the conflict, well, you have to watch the short film and maybe figure that out when you see it. And the Christmas elf is going to bother me.
Oh, he's cute there.
He looks better in the corner. Okay, I'm gonna share with you some tripod shots that maybe you might be using or not using, but here's what we use within our film. One is the static shot. I think this is a crucial shot for probably like 80% of your movie. It really can do a lot of work, and in the edit you can create the motion versus trying to move the camera throughout the space. And so you're really trying to figure out, how does the camera migrate? So when you're shooting one shot, you're thinking ahead and thinking, how does this then move within the scene? Whenever you're shooting on a gimbal or you have a dolly or some sort of camera system, you can move the camera through the space and the audience migrates with the character. But if you're on the tripod, this is a little bit more challenging. So you have to kind of weigh a little bit more in on the edit and figuring out how these shots cut together to migrate. For example, the shot of Jackie, she raises the gun. This is the series of 2 shots, maybe even 3 that cut really quickly together, which I think if I had a gimbal or any other system, it wouldn't feel as smooth as this. But also to try and migrate her from one space to another, I need new shots. So I need a shot of her feet, I need a shot of her face, and I need a shot of a sort of medium wide into a new environment. So you're kind of trying to figure out how this pieces together while shooting, and it's a really good challenge as a filmmaker because you're not always going to have a gimbal, you're not always going to have a dolly, and you shouldn't always have those tools within your scene. And action. Another technique that I absolutely fell in love with is this dolly style shot that I started my filmmaking career with like 10 years ago, learned it off Film Riot. And essentially you put your camera on 2 legs, you lower one of them or just take it off of one. You slowly tilt the camera forward, tilting your lens up and your whole tripod body forward, kind of going in this arcing motion so that the camera lens stays level and the whole body of the camera moves down. If your legs are lined up with the horizontal axes of where you're shooting, then you should be able to get a nice straight shot. And sometimes you might have to finesse this and fix your horizontal axes in post-production, but after a few shots, we were able to get this. Some of the technical errors of this were like getting Jackie in focus on the 50 mil. I was trying to do some manual stuff and she's moving forward. So doing focus on a dolly move is a little bit more difficult, but in the end, I think the shot turned out really cool. For this scene, I've done a bunch of like missing person posters up on the wall, sort of to create a little bit more dimension. And what you want to be able to do is just do some storytelling with your frame as much as possible, so your actors don't have to do everything. This is a good way to make your shots look more cinematic without all this crazy stuff. So I think it looks pretty cool. If you liked this video, you can learn all the stuff I'm talking about on a deeper level in our course, The 4-Week Filmmaker, an efficient guide on prepping, shooting, and editing a film in the span of 30 days. One of my favorite parts of the course is my minimalist lighting and production design guide, showing you how to achieve cinematography that you saw in this video as a solo filmmaker. So go on to cinematicacademy.ca. There'll be a link in the description below where you guys can sign up and enroll in an interactive version of the course starting early January. And action. Jackie, I have a video to show you. This is your FBI debut.
Amazing.
You're already not excited.
I'm thrilled.
This is Jackie's first time watching it. We'll get her feedback after she watches it. I'm kind of nervous.
You
What?
should be. I'm a hard critic, tough critic.
Oh, whoa. Full
sorry.
screen,
Sorry.
full screen. This is pretty close to being it.
Okay.
Be careful.
I will. Are amazing. I am mediocre, but
Wait,
that's
why are
okay.
you mediocre?
Just the ending. I wish I had been more intense on the third gun.
I think you did a great job. I
Thanks.
think for like never holding a gun before or ever doing like the FBI thing, you nailed it.
And what I did in this one is I played with my own pacing.
Oh.
Like, there were moments where I was like, okay, she needs to drop her arms quickly because she's been moving slowly for like most of this. So that was fun. Is it based off of Shawshank Redemption?
It is the Shawshank Redemption throwback.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's it.
I don't know what that is.
Jackie's never seen Shawshank, which is disappointing. She also hasn't seen The Matrix. Don't hate her.
I don't think anyone likes those movies.
Okay, so one thing I noticed after watching that with Jackie was the fact that the lighting, that's something I didn't bring up in this video. I decided to light this entirely with one individual light. This is the Zhuin C100, and I just put it on the C-stand, arced it over top. I think just arced over single light looks really good. So every single setup, it was just Jackie, the light, just the LED tube kind of looking like arcing down on top of her, and then balancing that with the natural light. Anytime that we're doing any sort of natural light coming in, I would allow that to sort of be the emphasis. And then I just dulled down this light just to give a little bit of depth in on Jackie's face so that light wasn't completely washing her out and making her a complete silhouette. So outside of that, that was kind of it. The sound design and all of that I sort of figured out in post. You can see the whole editing style of this video in another movie that I made, which will be somewhere up on screen. But you happy? Ish? Anyway, we are really excited because We're here in Vancouver for a film festival, and our movie's gonna be premiering in 2 days. My movie. You know, the other people. Jackie had no part of this, but a whole other team made it sway. Our feature's doing its thing. So we're excited. Beautiful views out here. It's so amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.